Welcome back, y'all. This time around, we're going to be working on the Mercury again. I think it's going to include a new ignition system, possibly pulling the fuel tank, maybe a new fuel tank. Don't know that one yet, but we're going to get it at least running better. So let's get started. And this will cut to a couple days ago because I forgot to make an introduction. Well, I finally did go to the store and get some gas, 5-gallon worth. Put it in the old Mercury here. It is drawing fuel that looks a little better, a little better, but not much. It's still pretty bad. I think what the right thing would be to do would be to just put more fresh gas in the tank and see if that fixes the problem. I drove it around a little bit and I got the filter full finally, but it's just horrible. I still think my plan will work, but we'll see. It's starting to actually run, so it must have been actually out of gas. That's for me having to jam on the brakes when I come down my hill here, come into the driveway. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. This isn't in the best of spots, but it's been working. Oh, it's starting to come out of it. Hopefully nobody comes by and hits us in the tail. got a fuel leak. So after all the debacle of this thing dying on me down yonder, I had to pull it back to the house, which it's not very far. I just took it down the road and it died. Well, getting it back to the house was a whole other debacle. I should have took a picture, filmed something. But basically what wound up happening was we was pulling it with this truck, and we ran the back end of the Mercury into the front end of that truck, and this truck almost went off of that bank. So then we had to hook another truck to the front end of the Mercury, pull the Mercury out of the way, pull that truck out of the way, and then we could pull the Mercury back in the driveway to where it's sitting now. So, yeah. After that whole fiasco, I went ahead and ordered a new HEI distributor to go in this thing. Will it fit? I have no idea. But it was cheap. And I decided that I'd rather spend the money on an ignition system that I know would probably work versus an ignition system that little box over there on the fender is known for going out. So that's what we're going to do. I do have to move the car, so I'm going to see if it'll fire right now. But after I get it moved and rearranged, that's what we're going to do. So I did go to pull apart today. Had to get a connector for that truck that wasn't there. And I picked up one of these really good batteries that I'm sure will work great for this car. According to Advance's website, it's the right size and group and all that good stuff. But don't know if it's even got a charge. I've not even checked it yet, so that'll be interesting to see if it even works. Never bought a battery from Pull Apart before. Well, first signs are pretty good. The light come on and the buzzer's buzzing. And the guineas are just really mad today. They tried to fire right then. Well, nope. It made it a little ways. It was sitting down there. I got to get it nosed in there so I can have some light. But the thing I forgot too is, I don't know where it is. Oh, down there. Right there. A pinhole has formed in my rubber line. That rubber line comes all the way from the tank because somebody's redid it. So we'll have to fight with that too. I don't know if I ever showed it or not, but oh, it's still doing it. The fuel tank is leaking very bad. So I don't think we're going to be able to save this fuel tank. depending on why it's leaking. Well, I got it in here. That's all the gas it leaked out. Anyway, got the spark plug wires off, distributor cap off, more wires. Lined my, well, it's close. That little white dot over there, I kind of lined up where the rotor was pointing to. Now I'm gonna pull that distributor out and I guess figure this out. I've never really worked on Fords that much, so this is all kind of new territory to me. Here's that distributor I got for it. And this was 351 Windsor specific. I don't know what the difference is, but there's something different between a 302 and a 351 as far as the distributor goes. What we got in the full HEI setup, even comes with a coil in it. It's pretty neat. It's got that O-ring. I'm used to Chevrolet where you got that gasket back here where you gotta make sure you get it all jived in place good. Yeah, we're gonna put that on. There's the plugs I got for it. Of course, I got this plug. We'll have to wire that end up. That's for a tack, which this car don't have. And we'll do away with that coil. And of course this box. I don't know what I'll do with the wiring yet, but I'm just gonna do away with them. Hopefully that HEI is gonna run a whole lot better. I know it's gonna have better spark. A whole lot stronger of a spark out of that. So let's get into it and figure this out. Well, I got the distributor out. Y'all Ford guys will have to tell me, is it normal for the distributor to stick down in there? Like I said, I'm used to Chevrolet stuff, and I had to pry this thing, get it working back and forth, and then be able to pull it out. But other than that, it should come right out. I'm gonna pull the cap off of this. Of course, unplug it, pull the cap off, and we'll drop this down in and line her up and get all that jiving. Then I guess we'll take that coil off. Won't need that anymore. And get on with it. So here's what we're looking like so far. Got the distributor in. Got it loose still. A little loose. It's a very tight fit in here. I don't know that I like it, but it is what it is. We've ordered it. We're going to use it now. So I probably need to replace this line here, but it'll be fine. I'm gonna hook up my vacuum advance right now for the time being so I don't forget to do it. I got to wire in my 12 volt, and I don't know where I'm going to take that to. I might take it to the, I don't know if I'll take it to the alternator or not. I need a switch 12 volt, not a constant. There might be something over there for that box that's a constant 12 volt. This is the factory distributor wiring. This one, it was plugged in, was reading less than 12, but unplugged it was reading 12. So I may see what it does now, and if it's still the same way, we won't use that. We use something else. I found a wire up in here too that I didn't know. This little blue wire, or not blue wire, but blue connector, I mean. It's like a red, yellow, red, orange wire. Don't know what that goes to. It was just laying over there. So yeah, we gotta find a Gotta find a 12 volt, and then we'll put the plugs on it. And, or the wires on it. I think I got some new plugs to throw in it. And then we'll see if it'll fire and get the timing light out and all that fun stuff. All right, so I got the factory distributor wiring wired into it right now. Key on, I've got 12 volt. I'm gonna try to start it because I don't know if that makes a difference. I'm just gonna bump the key over like I'm starting it. It's sparking. I heard it spark somewhere. Okay. Now I'm gonna check it again. We've still got 12. So, okay. We'll just use that wire. I don't know if I'll make a jumper. I'm not really a fan of cutting off these factory plugs because you never know when you're gonna need them. I guess I could cut it back here and leave a pigtail, but you just never know. So I'm not really a big fan of that. So I might make me just a jumper wire on that side that'll go over there and just butt connect it over there, because you've still got a plug there and a plug here. I don't know, I had to figure something out. Well, here's what I come up with, guys. Got the wires on it, and I just put I'll show you so I don't have to unplug it. I put one of these, if it'll focus. I put one of those on the power for the coil wire and just plugged it right into that connector there. It plugs in really tight, so it should stay, at least for now anyway, for running it and tootling it down the road and in the yard and stuff. So let's hop in it and see if it'll run. And I didn't change the spark plugs. I forgot to do that. So we're gonna see if it runs first, and then if it does run, then we'll change the spark plugs. Then we'll see if it runs again, which it should. So yeah. Now I have no idea where the timing is at. So this will be a mystery to us all. Pretty good. Now if it'll just idle. Heck yeah. Tighten that clamp down with the wires on it. The distributor wants to keep moving. Right there is pretty good though. Somewhere around right there. Seems happy. And I forgot to show y'all, but that is my hood holder upper jig. The hood will hold itself up, but the springs are weak, I guess, or it's just bent that much, because that's where it rests at, and I wanted it out of my way. It's running pretty good. I'm gonna hop in it and back it up and forward and up and forward and all that stuff in the driveway here to see if it's gonna die. And if it don't die, we may take it up and down the road. That's a big if, because it's dark and I don't want it to die somewhere in the dark in the middle of the night. So might wait till tomorrow on that. Well, I've went up and down the driveway a couple times now. It started out running really great, and now it's got back to this kind of shaky, low idle thing. You put it down in gear one way or the other, and it gets a whole lot worse. But if you keep the RPMs up, it's fine. I think it's probably carburetor / fuel related. This fuel filter is all but plugged up, I'm sure. And I'm afraid I've sucked a bunch of that junk up in that carburetor. And I know it doesn't help. I got that line on the bottom that's leaking. I don't think I have anything between the tank and up here leaking, but I know I've got that one rubber line on the bottom that's leaking. And I'd say I almost bet I've got trash in there, and probably, I don't know, cloud plugs maybe. I had looked at them one time when I pulled them out, and that's it. So I may do that. I've got another fuel filter I might throw on. Can't really do anything with that right now. I just had to get another kit, and really, before I rebuild it, I'd like to do something with the fuel tank, make sure we're getting fresh fuel all the way up. So yeah, let me swap that filter, and I'll see if I have the right plugs. I don't even know if they're right. It did fire up pretty decent again for me a minute ago, so that's pretty good. Got the timing pretty close then. But yeah, you can hear it shaking. So yeah, definitely something going on. But it's not died again like it had been. Before it would die and it wouldn't start back, and I wouldn't have spark. So that's definitely helping. Here's the different spark plugs we got. They look really close, but the heat range is a little different. But these new ones have got to be better than those old ones, so I'm gonna put the new ones in. Side note, I'm not real impressed with these plug wires so far. Pulled these two off so far, and both of the clips up inside of the boot, both of those clips come off. Just pulled right off. Hardly no resistance at all to pull them off. And I've got 6 more to pull back off to do. So I really hope all of them don't do that. If they do, I'm going to be pretty upset, because they're brand new plug wires. I mean, they wasn't the cheapest option, and they wasn't the most expensive option either, but I'd kind of expect a little higher quality from MSD. All right, got all the spark plugs changed. Changed that filter. Here's the old filter. Looks like mud in there. It's probably not mud, it's probably rust, but yeah, definitely not good. Here's all the spark plugs. None of them looked bad. That one was a little wet, but none of them look like they're burning a bunch of oil or anything like that. So let's fire it back up. Oh, and I didn't have any more plug wires break, so that's good. That did just kind of shock me though, that I had 2 break. Let's see what she does now. It's still running crappy, but at least we know we've done the plug wires, or the plug, that fuel filter. No gas yet. That's interesting. There we go. I think my best bet right now, no more than a new tank is probably going to be to buy a new tank. I've not been able to find a new sending unit, but I can at least get a new fuel tank. That way we don't have all this mess going through the fuel line. I'm still curious as to why it's not drawing fuel good. It seems like my only thought on that is maybe the sock is clogging up and it's just able to overcome it when you rev it. I really don't know on that. Like I said, I can't really find a sending unit, so I guess we'll just have to clean out the one that's in it and try to get it to work. The fuel gauge doesn't work, but I don't know if that's the sending unit or the gauge itself. We'll just have to go from there. Also, another thing I hadn't mentioned yet, but I put a new voltage regulator over there on the fender, and even at an idle, we're charging like 17.5 volts. So I don't know if that's the alternator or if that regulator's bad. And that was a brand new one from Rock Auto. I can't remember the brand, but it was new. So we'll have to figure that out. But it's odd, it's charging that much at an idle. But a little while ago when it would die down and run bad, the lights was still dim. So I don't know why the lights would be dim if it's charging 17.5 volts. It's kind of odd. Well, next morning, back out here on the Mercury. I got to take this thing, well, I don't have to take this, but I'm going to take this just up the road. Look at something. So, hook the battery back up. If you don't unhook the battery, it dies. Hook the battery back up. We'll see if she's going to start off. Guineas is already real happy this morning. It's warm in here. Where's my keys? Oh, I put them in here. Well, the battery's not dead. She's running. That's good. And it fired pretty easily. It still needs a whole fuel system refresh, but it's doing pretty good now that our ignition is fixed. I'm really happy with that. Shifted to second. needs a little bit of adjustment, but I don't know how to do that. So until we actually get this thing on the road, this is gonna be what we get. Well, I wanted to see if this thing would do one for a long time. So we're gonna see. Nope. Yeah! There you go. Little one-wheel peel. Well, guys, I think that'll about do it on the video this week. I really ain't got no more time. Did get a new fuel tank. It is in. We can go look at that. But I'm gonna have to make some more time to do it. And right now I just ain't got it. Here's a new fuel tank. Everything looks to be right. Of course, this is the bottom. The sender goes in the bottom on that car. This tank did come with a new lock ring and gasket for that. I don't know what goes here. It does have the hole down on the other side for the filler neck. I don't have a gasket for that, or whatever goes there. And like I said, whatever goes in that top hole, I don't know what goes there. I don't have a new sender or any of that stuff. So for now, we just have a new fuel tank. That'll probably be the next thing that I put on here, is doing that fuel tank and figuring all that stuff out. And maybe finally getting around to cleaning the seats. I've already vacuumed the interior, of course, but I would at least like to clean that back seat. But like I say, that's gonna be it for now. We at least got it running good. Got the ignition system all kosher now. So that should be good for a good while. So thank you for tuning in and watching. If you want, subscribe, like. I do have an Instagram if you want to do that. Don't have a Facebook, just ain't got around to making one. But I post a little tidbit videos and pictures and stuff of what I'm doing on the Instagram if you want to follow that. But other than that, thank you, and we'll see you next time.